there is a connection between climate change and ISIL. It seems maybe far-fetched, but there is a lot of science to back it up. In all fairness, it was brought to everybody's attention by Martin O'Malley, who is the Democratic presidential candidate. And of course, right away, the chairman of the Republican National Committee said it was absurd. Well, doesn't seem absurd to me, particularly when I was researching this a little bit and saw all of the science and all of the reports that do talk about it. The Journal of the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science had done a study of the drought in Syria that occurred between 2006 and 2009. And what they found was that the effect of this drought, farmers not being able to farm, and of course affecting food production, and the humanitarian costs and displacement of people, that all of these things and the poverty led to the revolt of 2011 in Syria and to the rise of ISIS. Now, there is a lot of other reports. One is from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, where one of the things that they talk about is the relationship of climate change to national security. Not only does climate change affect national disasters, but also refugees. Worldwide, it has an impact on the stability of government, sometimes and frequently, because it affects food production and the uncertainty that people live under. And then this was, if I understand the relationship correctly, it was taken up by the Department of Defense, who issued a report which explains some of the action and the importance of all of this to the United States. And the preface of this is a letter by Chuck Hagel. This was in November 2014 when he was still the Secretary of Defense. And he really does draw everything together very beautifully. And one of the things that he says, he calls it the climate change, the impact of it, a threat multiplier. And he also talks about the impact of this on the military. Everything the military does is obviously affected by weather. So when you have the uncertainty and the multiplier effect that comes from climate change, then it really makes it even more tricky for the military. Now, what I found also interesting about all of this is that very recently, the Pew Research Center did one of their surveys about how did people perceive the highest threat in their country. Now, people in Europe, in the United States, and in the Middle East, they said, oh, the highest threat internationally is ISIS. People in the rest of the world, they said, it is climate change. And of course, if everything I have read makes any sense, then we don't have to choose. They are related. Thank you for listening. I'm Danielle Levy.